Runaway 101, the second in the series of programs we will be making to tell you about our diverse society. I'm Georgia Phillips.
And I'm Jessica Buck. And tonight in Runaway 101, we'll be looking at the recent story of the teenager who has gone missing.
Looking at reasons for teenagers running away.
And explaining the signs you should watch out for, which can mean your child is on the verge of leaving.
But first, we are going to look at the story of a teenager. This is Sophia Mottolini. She has recently gone missing from her home in Carpenter's Park. Last week, Sophia was seen at local shops and hasn't been sighted since.
Police believe she has run away from home, as she's done this before. Also, according to her parents, Sophia's been acting very depressed lately, a sign which can mean someone is thinking about running away from home.
Police are currently looking for Sophia, and her parents are obviously very worried and upset. So Sophia, if you're watching, please come.
An estimated 140,000 children and teenagers go missing from the UK every year. About 10,000 of these young people are hurt whilst away from home, and around 50 are killed or die.
Teenagers often run away when there is a dramatic change in family life. For instance, when a death has occurred in the family.
A close relative, especially a parent, has been married or divorced.
Or when they've moved away to a different town, among other causes.
So it is best to keep an eye on your teenagers at this difficult time, as they could be struggling and therefore thinking of running away. Most runaways return home within a short period of time, although many run away repeatedly.
Around 48% of runaways are between the ages of 10 and 18, and 77% are under the age of 18. This age group seems most prone to leaving home, which is probably because it is in teenage years that young people tend to have bad communication with parents and are therefore not sharing their problems with someone who they can truly trust to do their best for them.
To find out more about runaways and their terrible situations, we are going to interview two people who have run away from home at some point in their past.
Hi, I'm Judy Parks, and I'm interviewing two runaways who want to share their experiences in order to help others like them. So Louise,
since I was 8, my dad has been beating me. My mum didn't do anything about it because she was scared and tried to ignore it. He come home from work in a bad mood and call me over to him. Sometimes I refuse, and then he'd storm up to me and start hitting me and punching me, shouting at me for refusing to do what he said. If I went up to him, he would do it.
Did you ever call a helpline?
No, I didn't, but I wish I did. It could have helped me more than running away. I just didn't have the confidence. I convinced myself that they wouldn't listen to me, that they'd tell my dad that only meant the best for me and children needed firm handling. Either that or my dad would find out, and then life would be even worse. My confidence just hit rock bottom.
Did you ever tell or confide in anyone?
No, I thought they, like the helplines, would dismiss the subject and think I was simply overreacting and looking for attention. I didn't even talk to my mum about it.
Very much for talking to us today. To finish up, if someone was in your situation, what would you
speak to someone about the whole situation and ask them for help? Speak to a helpline because the people advising you on there are responsible and not linked to the situation. Don't try to run away from it though, as the streets are dangerous and it doesn't solve your problems, as I realised once when I left home. This is why I went back. When in the end our neighbours realised why the shouts coming from our house and the injuries I had meant and called the police, my problems are on the way to being solved. I'm now seeing a counsellor to help me get back my confidence. Without all this help, I don't know where I'd be.
Okay, thank you, Louise. Stay tuned to listen to my interview with another teenager who ran away for a completely different reason after the break. Oh no, Mum, I think I've ruined a piece of grass.
Don't worry, dear, we've got grass insurance. With grass insurance, every piece of grass in this garden is safe.
Only 50p per blade of grass. It is a very, very good deal. Welcome back to Runaway 101. I'm interviewing a teenager who has run away in her past. So Jane, why did you run away?
My mum and dad have been divorced since I was 6, and I've always lived with my mum. Then a year ago, when I was 13, she found a new man and married him within a few months. I'd only seen him once or twice before he moved in, and my mum didn't even ask me how I felt about it. She just told me how happy she was, and I didn't want to disappoint her. They were married, both she and my stepdad spent all their time together. I was completely ignored. I even felt that I was getting in the way, as my mum always used to complain because she had to drive me to school. She was losing time with him, and I didn't want to become a pain, so I left.
Did you tell anyone about your feelings?
No, I knew they'd never understand and think I was being selfish. I couldn't call a helpline because no one had done anything to hurt me.
And finally, what would you tell someone else in your situation?
I think I may have overreacted, but I just didn't want to make my mum unhappy. However, I should have talked to her about it. I doubt she meant to make me feel lonely, but, she had no idea what I was going through. When I returned home a few days later, she was really upset and worried and didn't realise what she'd done. Now that we could talk openly to each other, the problems are gone, and I'm even getting on with my stepdad.
Thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us, Jane. Now, back to the...
Hello again. We are now going to look into abuse like the abuse Louise Thomas suffered from. This was physical abuse. However, many types of abuse can lead to the victim running away.
Physical abuse is probably the easiest form of abuse to stop, as other types, such as emotional abuse, leave no physical scars.
Physical abuse involves punching, slapping, burning, cutting, and many more forms of violence that involve an injury. Quite often, this form of abuse is done in secrecy, and therefore injuries sustained are often found in areas often hidden from view.
However, when drugs or alcohol is involved, the injuries tend to be more random, and this is therefore easier for people on the outside to detect what is going on.
Those who have been physically abused often have repetitive nightmares of similar events or develop an eating disorder. Also, those that have been abused as a child are more likely to abuse others as they grow up.
Another form of abuse is emotional abuse. This is what Jane Brown was a victim of, although she did not realise at the time.
There are three types of emotional abuse: aggressive, denying, and minimizing.
Aggressive emotional abuse is when someone could be calling someone else names or even making threats.
Denying emotional abuse is when someone is being neglected or ignored. Many do not think of this as abuse, so it is difficult to detect.
And finally, minimizing abuse is when someone is being isolated or accused of exaggerating a situation. All of these types can be equally harmful. The victim can become depressed and lose all of their confidence.
The first step to recovery from this abuse is to realise that the relationship is abusive. Then the victim should seek out a therapist.
Those who abuse people in this way are often fearful and feel powerless, so abuse others to feel stronger. Another form of abuse is sexual abuse.
This is when someone is forced to do something sexual by force. However, this is probably the hardest form to detect, as victims often blame themselves or don't want to be punished for reporting the crime, so no one ever hears about it.
Those who have been sexually abused often run away from home, do badly at school, have nightmares, and even attempt suicide. They may also develop headaches, migraines, depression, or pain during intercourse.
We advise that those who have been sexually abused to see their GP, and from there to see a specialist. Family therapy should also be sought.
We are now going to show you a dramatisation of what a teenager may do and act like when on the verge of running away, so stay tuned during the break.
Fed up of dancing in your bedroom instead of going to the real thing? Then come on, we've got tickets to the O2 Arena to see Michael Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry, I was Hello and welcome back to Runaway 101. We are now going to show you a dramatization to help you see what you should look for in a teenager that tells you that he or she may be thinking of running away.
Hello. Eat a dinner, Hannah. I hate chicken. God, I can't remember anything.
What was that all about? So, do you want to play a game with us? You be black, I'll be white. Okay, so Hannah, do you want to play a game of chess?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, how about a film then? Do you want to watch a DVD? I've got Ron and Jack's famous one.
No.
Okay then.
Well, do some shopping.
Just go away, leave me alone. What on earth is the matter with her?
I honestly don't know.
Hello, Hank. I've called you in here, Hank, because you're going to really spoil them. Is there anything the matter? Something happened at home?
It's nothing, Mrs. Jones. I've just been a bit ill this week. I haven't been able to concentrate.
Well, if that's really ill, I hope you get better soon.
Can I go then?
Yes, I'll be there.
As you can see, Hannah is often having random bursts of anger, is losing interest in her work, and is becoming depressed. She is considering running away from home.
Hopefully this, along with tonight's episode, has helped you understand about runaways.
And once again, if Sophia Mortellini is watching, her family really wants her to come home. So do her son.
That's all for tonight's episode. If you are a child and a victim of abuse, call Childline for help and advice, or call our helpline on 0800 101 and ask for the runaway specialist.
And now it's time for EastEnders. Good night. There are 3 types of emotional abuse: aggressive, denying, and minimalist.
Hello, need your tea.
As you can see, Hannah is often having random bursts of anger, is losing interest in her work, and is becoming depressed. She is considering running away from home.
Hopefully this, along with tonight's episode, has helped you understand about runaways.
And once again, if Sophia Mortellini is watching, her family really wants her to come home. The lovely cat. Sophia, my cat. Oh my God. Come on, Mia, let's have a game then. You and me, you'll chat.
No, Margaret, no.
Come on, Mia, fancy game. Use the back on me one.
Tell it again.
Fancy game.
Play.
You be black on.
Hi, I'm
I'm laughing because you sound so funny. Now you're laughing at yourself.
interviewing 2 runaways who want to share their experiences, and I'll just help others.
You can tell that these 2 are going to take about 50 years to get a fat
Laughing at me.
Yeah, go on, Laura. I've already started 5 seconds ago. No, just do it. It's okay. No. Okay, fine. I'll cut it. Go on, Laura. That was rubbish. Phoebe, why are you running across, man? Go on, Laura. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, you did it, Laura. Well done. Hi, Lucy. Wave.
Sticking out like that.
Okay, that's finished.
Hello, Hannah. I called you in, Hannah, because you're going to really...
You alright?